I walk people through envisioning a prosperous future. We need to figure out how we can optimize your income. You have to know where it is that you're going. One of the things that stops so many people from pursuing their dreams is we don't know step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to et cetera to get from point A to point B. And for me, my personality, and I hopefully this helps. Maybe this is your personality, but most people they get a little anxiety when they think of jumping into the unknown. Something that I love doing that my staff can relate with, and they absolutely know 100%, is I'm a huge fan of jumping off of a cliff and figuring out how to build an airplane before you hit the bottom and crash. Like, that's just kind of my style. But it's not most people's style, and that's okay. But as you begin to walk down this path, as you kind of start going after your goal, what I want to encourage you with is that things are going to start taking form and taking place if this goal was not just your own goal, but it was a goal that God's placed in your heart. And when I was first starting my first business, I had this guy who came to me and he just said, "Hey, Zach, I see an entrepreneur in you." I was like, "What? I'm going to be a pastor. I'm not going to be an entrepreneur." And he said, I see an entrepreneur in you. I think you should start a business with me." And so he got me on this journey, and I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. But I was on the right path, and I really believed that this dream of kind of building a business, it had not just become his dream or his word for me, but it become a dream that God had placed on my heart. I felt at peace that this was something I was supposed to do. But I had no idea step 1, 2, 3, 4. My dad was a pastor. I had never been to a business meeting ever in my entire life. I knew nothing. I was a worship leader. I was getting a degree in worship and music and taking vocal lessons and guitar lessons. I had absolutely no idea how to build a business, but I knew I was on the right path. And I knew that it was a path God had me on because doors started to open. I remember I had this one meeting, and I got invited to go to this meeting, and I still don't even remember how I got the invitation. But it was with 15 of the top CEOs and business leaders in Dayton, Ohio, the mayor of Dayton, and then our congressperson. And we were scheduled to meet on the top floor of the highest building in Dayton. Now, Dayton's not very big. I think it was like 15 stories high. And I had got an invitation to come and just to be a fly on the wall and sit and listen at this breakfast. This video is brought to you by Trumbull Insurance Agency. This is my company that I get to run. And if you have home, auto, or life insurance needs, we want to help you. These videos don't come for free. And Trumbull Agency is sponsoring all of these so that you have good content day in and day out. So if you have home or auto insurance and life insurance, like almost everybody needs life insurance and almost everybody has home or auto insurance, do business with Trumbull Agency, please. It helps us create content just like this. I had never been to a business meeting one time, but I said, you know what? I'm just gonna walk in this. I'm gonna see what happens. So I went to Staples and I bought a briefcase. I wish I had it with me. There's this black briefcase. I still have it in my house. I can't open it because there's a number lock and I don't remember what the numbers are. But I got this black briefcase from Staples because I thought that's what you're supposed to have. And I got a suit. I think it was from JCPenney's. And I wear this suit. I'm 19 years old. And I had this black briefcase. And I remember getting on the elevator to get up, and there's 3 other people who were at the meeting who were on the elevator with me. And I was the only person with a stupid briefcase to this breakfast meeting. I had no idea. I was just walking down the path, and I knew that if I continued to walk down the path that good things will come. And so I just sat there at this meeting, and I just remember sitting there saying, how in the world did I get here? How did I get here to this breakfast? I didn't deserve to be there. I had no qualifications to be there. I started a business that hadn't sold a single dollar yet. I was 19 years old, wasn't connected to any of these people. And this guy is at the meeting and he says, so what do you do? And I said, well, I'm starting this business and here's what we do. And he said, I'd love to get lunch with you. I was like, really? And then this other lady said, hey, what do you do? And I told her, we're starting this company. And she said, I'd love to get lunch with you. I was like, really? That one person ran PNC Bank for the Midwest. That other person ran Kettering Health Network, which was a large health network, a bunch of hospitals in the area. And I had lunch with both of them, and both of them became sales. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I never made a sale in my entire life. I thought that you needed a briefcase. Turns out you don't. I thought that you needed a cheap suit from JCPenney's. Turns out you don't. But I was just walking down the path. and I was blessed for walking down the path. I think the same thing's true for you. It's what I've continued to see in my life. If I'm just faithful to taking that next step and to moving down that path, it's amazing how many opportunities start moving my way. And so wherever you're at in your journey, as you start to pursue the dreams that God's placed on your heart, it's time to start walking down this path. It's time to start taking some steps that, you might not know what that next step is, but you're going to still move forward. And as you place your foot down on the ground, a stone's going to appear. And it's going to be that next step. And you're going to take your other foot and place it, and it looks like thin air. I think of Lord of the Rings, right? Lord of the Rings, there's that bridge that goes across, and you have to throw rocks on it to see it. And they walked in faith across this bridge, not knowing if it was really there or not, because it was invisible, but they kept walking. And that's what I think we're all called to do. We're called to keep taking that next step. And when we do, God blesses those steps. And we get opportunities that we would never have had if we would have just stayed still and stopped moving. So here's my encouragement for myself today. It's my encouragement for you. It's to start moving. Take action. Start putting one step in front of the other. You might just find you start having breakfast with people that you have no right to have breakfast with, like I did. And I have seen time and time again, God always blesses the step.